Here's how the factory design pattern works in overview. The idea is that you extract your volatile code from your core code and put it into an external factory object. That factory object creates additional objects as needed, and handles the volatile code inside that factory class. So you don't need to handle volatile code inside your core code anymore. You can instead just use the factory. That's the idea behind the factory class. Here's a factory class, and in order to work with it, you might, for example, create a constructor that takes a type of object you want to create and stores that type. Might just be a string. Might be, for example, Oracle connection for an Oracle connection, for example, so that you can configure the factory object with the type the type of object it's supposed to create by passing that type to the factory object's constructor. And it stores that type in an internal variable, as you see here. Then when it's time to create a connection, for example, you might have the factory method called createConnection. This is just an example, of course. You can create all kinds of objects with factory objects. This will return a connection object. And you say createConnection, and when that is called, you check the type, and if the type equals Oracle, return a new Oracle connection. If the type equals SQL Server, then you return a new SQL Server connection, and so forth. So as you see, you can configure a factory object to return a particular type of object by configuring its constructor and then calling a creation method. That's typically the way factory objects work, and that's the way they work in Java, as well as many different types of factories you'll find already built into Java. And that's the way that the factory design pattern lets you handle external code. This is the code that changes quickly. This is the volatile code. As you were seeing in the example previous movie, that code changes quickly, and we're adding Oracle and adding SQL Server, then MySQL, and then you're about to add secure connections as well, and so on and so forth. And by extracting that code and putting it into a factory object and a factory class, you can handle the volatility of that code much more easily than if it was volatile inside your core code. That's the whole idea behind the factory design pattern, is to extract your code that changes quickly and store it inside an external factory object.